Bye.
Okay, talk to you later.
Yay, okay, bye. Hi, Julia. I think it's working now. You'll be in the first 10 seconds of my video. Is it working? I'm so sorry, everybody. I have no idea what just happened there. Let me get the lights. Well, I see me. Hi, me. If anybody can see me or hear me, can you send me a little message? Facebook was saying that it wasn't recognizing my my video or my audio, but testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. I think actually it is working now. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Possibly working. Possibly working. Yes, it is. All right, we have confirmation from my AV team. Okay, well, little Miss Yodi, she's going in for an operation tomorrow, which I'm so grateful for because it was supposed to be in April, and I don't know if there would be any medical supplies left in April. So this yoga practice is for little Yodi. And we're going to do a yin practice today. So let me just, set this all up a little bit better. Oh dear. Okay. So we're going to do a yin practice. I know I've been saying that this is a yin vinyasa class, but what we are going to do is pure yin. Okay, great. I'm getting comments. Thank you, everybody. And sorry for the technical difficulties. I guess it's just a matter of time before the whole system crashes, isn't it? Okay, so let's come into the space. I think the lighting's a bit off. I do apologize. Nonetheless, if you can hear me, wonderful. So take a minute to come into the space, come into your breath, allow your breathing to return to a normal pace. Allow your hands to be rested, either palms down for a knowingness, palms up for seeking knowledge. Close your eyes, deepen your breath. Lengthen your exhale. And today, try to really slow down and quiet the breath. As you inhale, lengthening the spine, lifting your vertebrae, imagine there's a balloon in your belly. And as you inhale, the balloon expands. Keep that visualization with you for the next 5 or 6 breaths. And as you continue to breathe, allow your awareness to expand, going upward and into the rib cage. Allow the rib cage to expand. And it's expanding, of course, as a secondary movement, primarily into the belly, feeling the balloon expanding up into the rib cage, feeling the expansion in the rib cage. And breathing nice and deeply. For the next few breaths, come into a third part of your body, so in the clavicular region. So following that step, inhaling deeply into the belly, secondarily into the rib cage, feel that side expansion, and tertiary step, into the clavicular region. Lengthen the neck, drop the chin. Find all those pockets of space in your face and breathe. Set an intention for yourself, for the class, for the day, for this shift in society that we are going through. And if you find your mind wandering and worrying, come back to that thought and repeat that mantra. Get that rhythm of your new message to yourself in your body. Eat that at a cellular level. And if that doesn't work for you, if you're really having trouble getting into the mind, because today in this yin practice, we are going to be holding positions for a minimum of 1 minute, a maximum of 3 minutes, followed by a meditation and visualization at the end. Due to the technical difficulties at the beginning, I'll go probably a little bit past 7 o'clock PST. So continuing to breathe those 3 different parts of the breath. And so if the intention in your mind doesn't work, or if it doesn't work for you in this context, get physical and really visualize the oxygen being drawn in, whether it's from the crown of the head, the rib cage, the pores of the face, osmosis through the whole skin sac of your body. However you visualize that oxygen coming into your body, make it a very active cognitive practice. I often imagine swirling energy coming down, or if I find tightness in the body, sometimes I imagine these little figures, these little bonhommes with pickaxes and going in and almost chopping up all of that dense space. Just let your mind flow. Let this become a real work in creativity. Whatever's happening, allow the mind to really rotate through the body. And of course, even if the intention works for us, allowing that physical rotation of consciousness to come through the body is a nice deepening of the relaxation. And breathe. We'll warm up the neck before we come into our first yin position. So let's drop the hands from the knees, shoulders pushing downwards. Inhale, arms up, eyes of the elbows open, fingers are stretching, palms facing the ceiling. Inhale, touching the tips of the fingers, and exhaling, coming down. We'll do this 3 times, following your own breath, trying to make each subsequent movement and breath slower than the last as we inhale again to our second breath. With every inhale, lengthening the spine, dropping the shoulders, touching the tips of the fingers, and rotating back downward, palms facing downwards as we drop. And inhaling, coming up. And again, opening the eyes of the elbows, lengthening the wrists, touching the tips of the fingers, and exhaling down. Hands come all the way down. On your next inhale, let's bring both arms up to the side. Left fingers coming to the outside of the right temple, dropping the right hand down. Chin into the chest, nodding yes, that positive mantra, sending that same vibration through the body. And continuing that fold in the same direction, so pull the neck over gently, let that hand drop down, and come into a nice side bend. In this position, if it's a little bit too tight, if you feel your hips lifting, you can bring the hand up. As long as the shoulders stay stacked, Chest is open. And that same breath, you've got 3 deep breathing parts into the belly, into the ribs, and into the clavicular region. And exhale, drop that upper arm down, coming into a twist. And breathing nice and deeply. Twisting with everything you've got, looking with your head, your eyes, your nose, your chin, your shoulders, your chest, everything moving to the side. And inhaling back to center, arms up. And we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So bringing the tips of the fingers. Find the tempo, find that sweet spot, dropping the hands down. Fingers can be tented. And dropping the chin down to the chest. Nodding and feeling that connection. All those tendons, those minor micro muscles in the neck, around the clavicular. And on your next inhale, keep that lean all the way over to the other side. And looking up through the armpit or past the armpit. Breathing deeply here. Even in this introduction, we want to take about 5 or so deep breaths. And if I'm going either too quickly or too slowly, of course, you can adapt to your own pace, coming down into a twist, but slower is better in this case. And breathe. Everything is moving so fast around us. The entire world has never been so collected. People are feeling many different things. So let's just slow it down. Inhale, coming back up. Arms out to the side. Exhale, bring the hands behind. Interlace the fingers, lifting up as high as you can go. And once you've reached your edge with your arms coming up, exhaling downward. And I'm so happy my video and audio has come back to life. Although I do notice the lighting and the distance is a bit different. That's okay. I'll work on it. Allow your head to lean down. If your forehead can come down to the ground, that's wonderful. In our first, we're not going to stay here too long, but in our first forward bend, develop that sense of the breath going to the backs of the upper lungs. And inhale, let those arms rotate all the way down, dropping the hands behind you, fingers pointing away from you. And let's push the outer knees into the ground. Squeeze your bum, lift your hips, coming all the way up. Oh yeah, a little pop there. Keeping the chin into the chest. Squeeze your bum. Breathing deeply. Those 3 parts have not left your body. You've still got belly, ribs, and clavicular regions. And exhaling down. Wonderful. Now that we're warmed up a little bit, we're going to come into our first yin position. So if you've got a block, a pillow, a book, a puppy, anything that you can put in your back. And if you do have a block, you can of course put it on the first level, that's the shallowest, second level, or third highest level. So just for demonstration's sake, I'll put it at the highest level. You want to get it right between the shoulder blades, okay? So we're going to come down. The legs should be in a nice butterfly position, not too close, not too far. We are going to hold this first asana for 2 minutes. So once we're in it, once we're comfortable, about 2 minutes. So making sure the feet are comfortable and just sort of start to walk yourself down. And if you don't have a block, I would suggest go against the wall If you don't have a wall, we're in trouble. Go against the wall and just bring your feet into this same position, soles of the feet together. Okay. If you prefer to do that, then the block for whatever reason, if you've got issues with the back or shoulders. But this is an important position to do because have you spent the entire day on a computer more than normal? If so, then this is exactly what you need. I know my last week, 18 hours a day has been online. So before we come down, we want to bring the arms up and really start to feel that space between the shoulder blades. You can start to bring them down a little bit, coming into that bit of a cactus arms, just to feel where exactly you are getting that feeling. So you want to have it under the shoulder blades and between the shoulder blades, okay? So with the arms up, you can just give that a bit of a test, and you should be able to squeeze the block in a little bit. Okay, and once you're here, allow the arms to come back, and if you have neck issues, then of course you can use a secondary block to hold your neck up. Otherwise, so allowing the head just to rest gently wherever it may be. Otherwise, if you feel comfortable with your neck, allow it to gently roll back, hang down, and we're going to hold this for 2 minutes. So find your edge, find your breath, and relax here. I have opted for silence in my background except for my voice. If the silence works for you in your background, that's wonderful. Otherwise, try and focus in on whatever relaxation music you have on, whatever rhythm is coming. Allow that vibration to flow through your body and really focus on that front heart chakra here. The Anahata chakra, as it is known in Sanskrit, is a place where we are all residing at the moment. The Anahata chakra is the seat of great emotion, great power, great love. But of course, should that chakra be blocked, it is capable of great other things. So we want to make sure not only we're energetically opening the body, but physically. We spend so much of our time hunched over our computers, our phones, our children, or just that general sort of slump of heaviness of gravity. We don't slump our shoulders by going back, right? So that slump, especially when we don't pay attention to our posture over time, becomes natural. I'm going to take a few more breaths here. We've been here now for almost 2 minutes. When we do prepare to come up, be very gentle with yourself. We are going to inevitably feel that rush of blood. If you feel terribly lightheaded, come into a child's position. Otherwise, using the elbows, starting to lift yourself up and simply come straight forward. So you can remove the block and coming into a forward counterbalance. So we're going to hold this just for 1 minute, not quite as long. Let the knees be actively pushing down. By virtue of doing so, you will be able to feel the hips opening. And breathe here. I'm not leaving you. I'm just adjusting something as you continue to breathe nice and deeply. Head hanging down. Breathing nice and deeply here. Every inhale, becoming twice as long as the last. Every exhale, taking you deeper and deeper into a position of relaxation. It's just over halfway in this position. We'll hold it for another moment or so. Feel that extension, the lengthening of your spine. And on your next inhale, with a nice round back, just start to lean back onto the sacrum and then slowly starting to lift vertebrae by vertebrae. The last thing to come up is the shoulders and the head. Good. I'll do a bit of a twist. So we're going to take our left leg first, lift it up and fold a little bit onto the right and cross the top of your left ankle, the front of your left ankle, onto the back of your right ankle, okay? So we're just coming from the butterfly, leaning over to the right side, the front of the left ankle just kind of tucks in. Find a place where it's kind of comfortable here, okay? You can adjust a bit. We're sitting on a bit of a side seated or a side Vajrasana, and let's come into a twist. So inhaling, arms up, and exhale, looking behind us, and the back arm can act as a pillar to help us keep that nice straight posture. The opposite arm can come to the knee and just start to push. Give a little bit of a leverage and start to feel your hips opening. And breathe. Twisting posture is very good for stress management. And we're going to hold this for about 5 more nice, long, deep breaths. The legs are active as well, really pushing into the ground. I'm going to take this a little bit deeper on your next exhale. Let's start to walk the hands out to the side, lengthening and separating the legs. Bring that, if it's your left leg, your upper leg, bringing it off, coming into a bit of a deer position and walking the hands over. So all the way over into a nice lengthening. So we're in a nice deer position here. Once you've got your edge start to come down, we are going to hold this for 1 minute. So take a moment, find your edge. Your edge is the place where you can go no more. Your edge is the place where you feel the stretch. And you can feel the tension. So find your mind on that place and mentally walk. Explore the spaces. Observe the distance. We'll hold this again just for another few breaths. And when you're ready, walking back to center, inhaling up and bring those legs back to our butterfly just for a moment. Give them a little bit of a bounce. Breathing here, and we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So this time, right leg, front of the right ankle is going to kind of just tuck into that left knee, or excuse me, the left back of the left ankle. And if that's really not comfortable, you can just start in our regular deer position. But this helps to get a little bit of a deeper hip opener. So when you're ready, sitting at that bit of a proper lady-like sitting position, let's inhale, arms up, shoulders down. Exhale, back hand is pillar, front hand is lever, and twisting Twisting, very good for digestion, both of food and of thought. Twisting with everything you've got, your eyes, your nose, tips of your shoulders, everything pushing in the opposite direction, participating with every cell of the body, not just relying on one or two muscles. Those are the muscles we usually rely on. And that is, of course, when stagnation in other parts of the body happens, when we overcompensate. That's when injury and disease are introduced into the body. So just touch every part of your molecular structure on a daily basis, through the breath, through the movement. On your next inhale, we're going to start to extend this position. So leg starts to open if it's not there already. Arms start to walk out to the side and back. Now there's going to be a million different variations to this position depending on what your body is like right now, depending on what you need right now, what time of the day it is for you. We're all in completely different places, different bodies. Listen to your body. Your body is your teacher. My voice is here only to guide you. Taking another few breaths here. Feel that pinch of the hips. And on your next inhale, walking the hands back to center. Rolling back onto the hips and come just passing through a butterfly. Let the legs bounce for a moment. Slightly leaning back. Keep those legs open. Keep the soles of the feet pushing into each other. Try to stay nice and balanced. Breathing here. If you're comfortable here, wonderful. If you'd like to take it a little bit deeper, you can use your strap if you like. We're going to open the legs into a bit of a straddle. Okay, and again, you can balance with the hands either on the feet, on the knees, the backs of the thighs, the calves, wherever they find themselves. Lengthening the spine, lifting the heart, keeping the shoulders down. We're going to slam these feet down into that Paschimottanasana. So pointing the toes, slamming both feet down when you're ready. And exhale, coming down and forward fold. So coming into whatever place is comfortable for you, this is going to be another hold. We're going to hold this position now for 2 minutes again, okay? So find your edge. And that should be at about 70% of your full capacity. So if you're really, really, really trying and you're at maybe 100%, let go a little bit, find that 70%, and just let the gravity naturally take you. You don't have to force this. Yin is about relaxing the body, relaxing those macro muscles so that we can really get deep into the fascia. So Paul Griley is the human responsible for modernizing Yin yoga. Yin, of course, means slow, or rather slowed down. It's that cavernous, spacious, more feminine energy. This is what is missing in the world today. This is what is coming back in the world today. And this is what Yin delivers to us. So remember, as we are all drops in the ocean, whatever we do returns back to the greater ocean. We are relaxed but active. Our heels are pushing away from us, toes angling in towards us, opening the backs of the knees, the eyes of the knees pushing in. The knees are the most intricate joint in the body, so really take a lot of time to just mentally sit there with your knees. Where attention goes, energy flows. Where energy flows, there is no disease. There is less injury. There is more openness and more connection with your instinct and more activation of the fascia. So breathing nice and deeply. It's about 1.5 minutes. We're going to stay here for a little bit longer. In a forward bend, focusing on the sensation of acceptance and submission. Focusing on breathing into the upper back quadrants of your lungs. By now, you should begin to feel the chemical reaction, that shift in the body, that phase transition. There's a chemical reaction as the hyaluronic acid is being released from the core dense tissue. This is the nectar of youth. This is the body armor, which essentially overlaps every single part of us. It's beautiful, everybody. That's almost coming into 3 minutes, so I extended it a little bit longer than I said, but that's a good yin pose and a great yin example. Okay, so from here, we're going to slowly roll up in your own time, at your own pace, vertebrae by vertebrae. Start by leaning or rolling your hips back, keeping the shoulders down, chin tucked into the chest, and then nice and slowly coming up. Let the hands kind of walk up the legs as you lift. Just take a moment to feel that. If you feel like your body is about 87,000 years old right now, that's very normal. That's what yin does. It activates all of that sleeping energy in the body, gets into that deep, dense tissue, and we start to release. So now here, we're going to come over onto our fronts. So we're just going to kind of flop over. So just kind of start to turn, okay? We're going to use this as a bit of a stretch too. So as we start to turn, start to feel that side leg. We're not going to come into a split or anything like that. We're just moving a little bit to the side, keeping the legs nice and straight. And same thing on the opposite side. So nice and slow rotation all the way over. Pushing into the hands. Remember, your hands are open, each finger participating. Fingers are spread. That first knuckle takes the weight. That helps with our alignment. Breathing deeply as we twist and exhale, slowly coming back. Going to move on to our knees, to a tabletop position, just as a point of transition. Lining up the hands, wrists, elbows, shoulders, knees, and hips. Take a few cat-cows here. Make sure your neck is lengthening. This is facial yoga. The more we stretch and activate the muscles there, the more we counteract the effects of gravity as it weighs and sags on our skin, resulting in wrinkles, which are wonderful and beautiful, but sometimes come into the body a little bit too soon. So just keeping that vitality, that elasticity. On your next inhale, we're going to step forward, left leg first, exceeding 90 degrees. We're going to come into a lunge. Okay, so if you would like the blocks to help you, depending on where you're at, the block can come either up or down. Okay, you can also use it on your hands or your elbows, your forearms, excuse me. We're going to hold this position for 1 minute. So making sure that your hips are aiming forward, your whole midline is squeezing in, and as you exhale down, coming forward, and breathe. I just see, there's a few people coming in commenting. Yeah, so yun, isoyo, isoyo. Yoga, it's okay. Sorry, everyone, just a few people that are commenting. You can probably see it. And again, so sorry with the technical difficulties. I think that our poor little internet is taking a toll. Nonetheless, keep that front lunge just for a moment. We're going to stay here for a little bit longer and come into something called the flying dragon. So the back leg should be lengthening, top of the feet down. And this leg now is just going to kind of fold out. The foot is going to roll up, sole to the side, and extend yourself. Kind of make that space, and you can start to roll into it as well. Whatever feels comfortable for you. There's a million different variations depending on your body, depending on your place where you're at right now. And breathing, twisting, turning. We're going to hold this just for 5 breaths, so mentally prepare yourself for that. It is a deep position. Yodi is staring at the wall. So cute. I love you. And when you're ready, let's bring that sole back, hands down, bring the leg out to the side. If your left leg is out, let's bring your right arm up. And if you're comfortable here, stay here. Otherwise, we can start to loop the hand around, bring it either to the lower back or just on the inside of that inner thigh. So that'll start to get the shoulder really deepening the stretch. Since we can't be there to, or since I can't be there to adjust you a little bit, use your own body, use that leverage within your limbs, and breathe here. Again, we're only going to hold this for about 5 breaths. Gentle with the neck. And on your next inhale, dropping that hand down, lifting the back leg, and don't kick the world along the way. Dropping it into a shoelace position. So tucking the knees together nice and tightly, opening the feet. Sorry, Yodi. And exhaling, finding yourself either in a sitting position or let your buttocks hang out. That's absolutely fine. Wherever you're comfortable. This is an intense hip opener. This is not designed to be really a relaxing pose. So again, we're only going to stay here for about 5 breaths. But it's giving us that internal rotation of the femurs, which is a vital position missing in our former society. You can also bring the arms into this position if you'd like. Since we're in a bit of a twisted leg, we can bring in also the Garudasana eagle arms. If your right leg is on top, you can have your left arm come on top. Again, eyes at the elbows, find their connection, loop them, tie them, and then bringing the hands back together, trying to line the palms and lifting. And exhale, forward fold. So just another variation, or if you wanted to include the upper body, tucking the chin into the chest. And on your next exhale, coming up, opening the arms, shifting the weight forward. That back leg is going to come up, up, and away, all the way to the front. Pigeon position. I'll move back here just a touch. And again, if you have tighter hips, bring your heel into your groin. If your hips are a little bit more open, allow the calf to be parallel with the top of your mat. Whatever is not getting your hips lifted. So if you do find your hips lifting, put the block either under the front calf, thigh. We haven't devolved yet. And inhale, coming up, and exhale, coming down. We will stay here for 1 minute. Lengthening with every breath, allowing the vertebrae to find space between each other, Walking the fingers forward, even just a millimeter. A millimeter in the body equates to miles in the mind. As we're in a forward bend, develop that sensation of submission, that acceptance. That knowing and that trusting. And relax. Taking one more deep breath here. That's 1 minute. We see how quickly this time goes. And if you are wanting to hold for a little bit longer, feel free to do so. Otherwise, when you're ready, inhale, walk the hands back, leaning over onto the bent leg and swing that straight leg all the way to the front, bringing it in front of us. And let's, again, bring that heel in nice and tight. Sitting nice and tall. Inhale, arms up, shoulders down. Make sure your torso is facing the bent leg. And exhale, bring the same hand to the same foot or the same elbow to the same inside of the knee or the same shoulder to the same knee. Whatever is comfortable, keep those 3 different positions or those 3 different sensations. We're lifting, being pushed back, and being drawn over, okay? So 3 different sensations working together. Allow your mind to work on the 3 simultaneously and just observe where your focus is. Opposite hand can be holding onto the thigh or the hip. And of course, I don't expect everyone to be doing exactly what I'm doing right now. Follow your body, listen to your own body. All the positions have their own variations. Do what's comfortable for you. Become the observer of your body and just listen. We won't stay here for too much longer. Another few breaths. Keep those 3 different sensationalities intermingling. And on your next inhale, lifting. Feel that blood shift, feel that temperature shift, and back hand behind us. Fingers pointing away from us. Lift your hips, chin into the chest. Squeeze your bum forward. Your straight foot, toes pointing down. Everything is opening. And exhale. Let's come down. Okay, you remember that? We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So let's start again from the straddle position. Take a minute just to bounce the legs. And again, we're just going to roll over to one side. And twisting again to the opposite side. And then inhale, coming onto your knees. Finding a tabletop position again. Let your hips fall side to side, up and down. Shifting the weight. You can do a few cat-cows here if you'd like. We won't spend too much time in our tabletop cat-cow series today. But otherwise, when you're ready, let's take the opposite leg. So in my case, the right leg, stepping it forward. Exceeding that 90 degrees in your leg, in your knee. And using the blocks, using anything that you'd like to support. When you're ready, exhale down. We will hold this for 1 minute. And as I said, I do realize that we will be a little bit longer today. So if you do have to go, I understand. You can watch the live recording for as long as Facebook decides to keep these up and not delete them. Otherwise, we're going to continue onto this side before we come onto our backs and into our meditations. So taking a moment to breathe here. We're going to go deeper into this pose. So when you're ready, inhale, lifting, shifting the weight, and coming into that flying dragon. So lift your soul, aligning it with the side. Hand comes to the knee. And if that is comfortable, wonderful. If you'd like to come into a bit of a deeper twist, aiming for this hip to come down to the ground, you're welcome. Try to keep this arm straight. So that's what we want to keep here, is that distance. And everything's turning sort of on its own axis. Okay, so imagine all those different moving parts coming together. We'll hold this just for a few deep breaths. And when you're ready, inhaling, coming up, bringing that front leg out to the side. If it's your right leg, left arm comes up, finding that balance. Both hands are open, strong, whether we're pushing on a solid or gas. Our physical force exerts the same from both hands. Exhale, if you'd like to bring it a bit deeper, you can bring your hand into your thigh or wherever it falls comfortably. Breathing here for just a moment. Continuing the twist. And if you do want to take it a bit deeper, you can always come down as well. Get a bit of a shoulder and a hip stretch as well. Otherwise, when you're ready, preparing for shoelace. So inhale, lifting, swinging that leg all the way around, bending the knees against each other. I gave you a nice bum shot in my first video, so if you'd like to go back and see that one, feel free. And exhale, coming down. I gave you a nice demonstration from a variety of angles in my first video, if you would like to see an alternate way of getting into the pose. Otherwise, let's take another few deep breaths here. Make sure the hips are somewhat squared. Inevitably, they might feel a bit off. You can adjust, you can pad yourself in, you can equip yourself with any pillow, block, as you like, as you need, as is comfortable. And on your next inhale, when you're ready, shifting the weight, dropping the hands, and over the boat and down. Okay, so coming into this nice pigeon position. Again, adjusting as you need, using the blocks as you need. And you'll find one side, of course, to be a little bit more open or a little bit tighter than the other side. Just listen to your body and exhale, walking down. We're going to hold this for 1 minute. So again, just take a moment to observe what is happening in your body. And know that what you are doing right now has more benefit than a 60-minute workout, a 60-minute cardio workout. If anybody would like to have a follow-up discussion on that, I'd be more than happy to. It is the fascia that holds our body together, that which gives it its integrity. If we do not have fascia, the matrix of each organ, each bone, each cell would not have any form, and we would just fall into a puddle of flesh at our ankles. So the fascia holds our body, gives us that integrity, interlaces every muscle, it penetrates every bone, it connects everything within the body to itself, and it runs along our meridian lines. That's about 1 minute. So we'll hold this for another few breaths. Fascia is in a deep new state of research, but it can change the quality depending on our mental state. On your next inhale, let's come up and swing that leg all the way over, keeping the heel nice and tight to the groin. And if you're familiar with different sitting positions, you can angle that into your perineum or wherever you feel it needs to be. Turning the torso to the bent leg. Inhale, arms up, shoulders down, eyes of the elbows open, eyes of the knee open, pressing against the floor. And again, whether you're pressing against air, earth, fire, water, whatever, that pressure should remain the same. That exertion of force should remain identical. So those 3 different sensations: lifting, pushing, opening, lengthening. And relax here for a moment. The research that they are finding with fascia states that depending on our mental state, the quality of it changes to either a more fluid, gel-like, or a very hard substance, a very unmalleable substance. And again, the research is quite new, but fascinating. If you're interested, contact me and I'd be happy to talk. As we inhale, let's come up. And again, feel that shift in the body. Feel that temperature when the blood is being directed, that freshly oxygenated blood being directed all throughout the body. We have power over that. Bring your feet back together. Let the butterfly flutter by. Bringing the knees together and coming into a rocking sensation. So again, find playfulness here. Find trust. We are eventually going to come onto our backs. So once you find yourself that you've got a few nice massage rolls out of it, then let's just gently come onto our backs. Inhale, lift your legs up. Now here we're going to come into a shoulder stand or an inversion. But before we do that, we're going to come into a halasana or plow position. Now, if you're not comfortable with this, you can take your block, or again, you can go up against the wall and just put a little bit of pressure right there. This is absolutely fine. It gives you nice pressure in the back. It's actually a little bit more pleasurable than coming back fully. You've got a bit of pressure there. But otherwise, if you've got the flexibility and you're doing it without jumping, vertebrae by vertebrae, slowly just start to let your legs come down and keep the legs straight wherever they feel comfortable. Try to get them to touch on the ground. And just as we walk our fingers, walk your toes as well. We're going to hold this for about 5 deep breaths. Do not look around. Do not look side to side. You're activating your bandhas in the body at the moment. So I can't talk right now. Just breathe. If you'd like to take it a little bit deeper, and when you're ready, very slowly begin to unravel your spine. Vertebrae by vertebrae touches the ground, returning to a 2-leg raised position. Take a minute to balance your legs, give them a few little kicks. Small circles in one direction gives a massage to the lower back. Changing directions when you're ready. Medium and larger size circles starts to give massage to the mid and upper back. We can come right up onto our shoulders here as well if we wanted to. No need to keep the legs very straight here. You can bend them, of course, if you want. And when you're ready, let's bend them entirely, arms out to the side. Exhale, bringing the knees down. Once they're down, extend. And if you're able to touch, wonderful, come down and touch. Otherwise, follow that same pendulum-like movement. So inhaling up, exhale to the side, lengthening the legs, touch. And follow this 5 or 6 times. Inhale when we lift. Exhale when we contract and come down. And focus on the massage that you're getting on your lower back and the waist and your hips. Any abdominal repercussions are mere coincidence. We're going to come into one last position before we come into Shavasana. So lifting the legs up. Figure 4, so crossing it over. Looping the arms through. Make sure that the bones are not hurting you. And let's hold here for 1 minute. If you'd like it a bit of a more challenging position, you can bring your head up, knee to the nose, and really get that deeper sense of a stretch in the lower back and in the outer thigh. With every breath, find space, pulling slightly. Find those pockets of liberation within the body and fill them with your freshly oxygenated breath. Regain that territory of the body that may have been lost over the course of your human life. And breathe. Your next exhale, release. Hands out to the side in a T-shaped position, keeping the legs almost exactly as they are. And exhale, coming down into a full twist. Now here, you can deepen this if you'd like by placing the hand on the outer leg. Or of course, you can place it on the extended leg, whatever's comfortable for you. On the other side, you can have just the hand connected with the foot, or just kind of allowing it to fall out to the side. Whichever place is comfortable for you. We're going to hold this for a few breaths. 5 or so deep breaths, keeping the shoulders down, angled towards the ground. And when you're ready on your next inhale, coming back to center and doing the same thing on the opposite side. So looping the arms and completely relax here. Remember, you have a balloon in your belly. Remember your intention. Remember, we are scanning our minds, rotating our consciousness to every cell of the body. Deeply inhaling, finding space. It's about halfway in this position. We'll hold it for another few breaths. It's always a good measurement to know how long your personal inhalation and exhalation is. Therefore, if you want to hold for a minute, you'll know maybe that's only 3 breaths, 3 inhales, 3 exhales. Or maybe it's 10 breaths. And again, just observe those equations. And be mindful of the systems over which you have control. And remember, you are growing your teeth. You are beating your heart. You are doing all of these things, even though you do not know how you are doing them. It is you. The you that is moving now is no different than the movement itself. On your next exhale, arms out to the side and falling over into a nice twist. Take your variation, whether you want to extend the leg and bind the back, whichever position is comfortable for you, as long as both shoulders are aiming towards the ground. The hips inevitably will lift, but really focusing on that spinal twist. So the upper half of the body angling to one side, lower half spurning to the opposite side, breathing into the belly. And when you're ready, slowly releasing whatever position you find yourself in, bringing both legs back up, giving them a bit of a kick, a little bit of a wiggle, maybe a little bit of a scissors movement side to side. And just again, feel that blood moving. Feel those sensations in the toes, the soles, the ankles. Feel the temperature changing as the blood drips down back to the core of the body. When you're ready, very slowly, let's bring the legs down, coming into a Shavasana position. Get a blanket here, make yourself comfortable. Do not allow your body to get cold during this time. I am going to take you through a guided visualization, part of a yoga nidra practice. And in this practice, we are focusing on different physical sensations of heaviness, of lightness, cold, heat, of pain, and of pleasure. So before we come into this position, continue to breathe very deeply, feeling heaviness in the body. Allow your mind to rotate and shift. Mentally searching for any places of tightness or tension, and release. Continuing to breathe very deeply, become aware of sounds that are in the distance. Become aware of the most distant sound that you can hear. Let your sense of hearing operate like a radar beam, searching out distant sounds and following them for a few seconds, just as we follow the stretch of our muscles for a few seconds until we can follow it no more. Where do you lose your sound? Move your attention from sound to sound without attempting to identify, without further thought. Just listen and let go. Gradually bring your attention to closer sounds, sounds that are within the building in which your body lies. Now, develop your awareness of this room. Without opening your eyes, remember what is around you. Visualize 4 walls, the ceiling, the floor, and your body lying in Shavasana, corpse position on the floor. Become aware of the existence of your physical body lying in a corpse position on the floor. As you lie in stillness, become aware of your natural breath. Become aware of the deep, natural, spontaneous breath. Do not concentrate on interfering with this rhythm. Learn to follow this rhythm, and as rhythmic law allows, the rhythm of your breath will allow the other rhythms of the body to come into follow. Begin to rotate your consciousness through the different centers of the body as quickly as possible. The awareness has to jump from point to point. Mentally repeat the name after me every time I say. Right hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger. Palm of the right hand, back of the hand, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, waist, hip, right thigh, knee, calf, ankle, heel, sole. Allow your mind to come to the top of the right foot, the right big toe, second, the third, fourth, the fifth. And now on the other side, again, quickly moving your consciousness through every part of your body, repeating mentally each part as I say it. The left hand thumb, the second finger, the third finger, fourth finger, the fifth finger. The palm of the left hand and the back of the left hand, the wrist, the lower arm, the elbow, the upper arm, shoulder, armpit, waist, hip, right thigh, knee, calf muscle, ankle, heel, sole, the top of the left foot. Bring your awareness to the left big toe, the second toe, the third toe, the fourth toe, the fifth toe. And breathe deeply into every living part of your physical flesh. And realize that the magic of life is the consciousness connecting with your breath. The miracle of the two combined results in all you see around you. Now taking your consciousness to the back body, relax your entire right shoulder, your left shoulder, your right shoulder blade and your left shoulder blade. Relax your right buttock, your left buttock. Relax the entire spine as you breathe, inhaling deeply, visualizing a bright white light entering through the crown of the head, descending, cascading down the body. And now bringing your awareness to the front body, returning to the top of the head and folding down onto the forehead, the right eyebrow, the left eyebrow, the eyebrow center, the Ajna chakra, the right eyelid, the left eyelid, the right eyeball, the left eyeball, the right ear, the left ear, the right cheek, the left cheek, the nose, the tip of the nose, the nostrils, and as you inhale, feel the temperature of the air on the divot of your skin. That's the place directly under your nose. Feel the temperature as you breathe in through the nose and the speed at which you inhale the oxygen in. And as you exhale, feel how the temperature has warmed. That chemical reaction that your body has magically changed within the body so quickly, so efficiently. Continuing to breathe, focusing on the upper lip, the lower lip, Relax your chin. Relax your jaw. Unclench your jaw. Relax your throat. Relax your right collarbone, your left collarbone. The right side of your chest, the left side of your chest. Relax the middle of your chest, the Anahata chakra, your navel, your abdomen, your lower abdomen. Relax the entire front of your body as you continue to breathe very deeply. Develop homogeneous awareness of the whole body and a proprioceptive appreciation of the awareness that your body takes up in this space. This space that is occupied by your body becomes your body. Feel the meeting points between the back of your head and the floor, the shoulder blades and the floor, the elbows and the floor, the back of the hands and the floor, the buttocks and the floor, the calves and the floor, the heels and the floor. Your entire back body is melting into the floor, relaxing into the foundation. As you continue to breathe very deeply, focus your awareness on the line between your lips, the space between your lips. And from the lips, we go to the breath. Draw your attention to the natural inhalation, the inspiration, the exhalation, and the expiration, focusing on the space between the two. For that is the place in which we begin to focus our meditation. And now develop and awaken a feeling of heaviness in the body. The feeling of heaviness in the body as you lie along the floor. Become aware of the feeling of heaviness in the body as you lie along the floor in every single part of your physical body, lying along the floor. You are feeling so heavy that the earth envelops you as you connect with this awareness of the heaviness of the physical body. As you continue to breathe, awaken the sensation of lightness within the body. Lightness and weightlessness overcome the physical body. A sensation of lightness and weightlessness exists in all parts of your body as every molecule vibrates at a higher frequency. Breathing deeply, your body feels so light that it seems to be floating up away off of the floor. And as you continue to breathe very deeply, rotating your mind through your body, releasing any sensations of tightness or tension, whether they be physical or mental. And as you exhale, allow those thoughts to leave the body just as mist lifts and dissipates from an early morning pond into the ether, into the great unknown, back to where it belongs. It does not belong to us. As you continue to breathe very deeply, awaken a sensation of cold within the body. Awaken the experience of bitter coldness in the body. Imagine you are walking on a cold floor in winter. Your feet feeling very cold. Your body feeling very cold all over. Develop a sensation of sitting in a cold pool of water. Ice cold water surrounding your body, awakening every single molecule within your system. The awareness of the cold overtakes you, pervades you. As you continue to breathe very deeply, awaken the sensation of heat in your body. Awaken the experience of fire in your body. As you continue to breathe very deeply, the body is hot. The body is feeling so hot in every single molecule. Recollect the feeling of heat in the body from the sun on a warm winter's day, from the fire keeping you warm in the night. Develop the sensation of sweating, cooling your body, or attempting to reach those highest peaks of heat all over the body as you continue to breathe very deeply. Come close to that sensation of fire, and as you continue to breathe very deeply, awaken a sensation and experience of pain. Come into a feeling and concentrate. Try to remember the experience of pain, physical pain within your body. Awaken all of the physical sensations of pain that you have felt within your body throughout the course of your lifetime. Whether that pain be physical or mental, experience the sensation of pain awakening in the body. And as you exhale, release with a long, strong, deep expiration. Let that shit go and breathe. As you continue to breathe deeply, recollect the feeling of pleasure within the body. Awaken any kind of pleasurable stimulation you may have in your mind, in your memory, in your body. Whether it be physical or mental, recollect this feeling, relive it, and be in that time and space. Know that time and space is a human construct, a construct which is currently being challenged, a construct which we will soon have the equipment and the apparatus with which to deal with on proper footing. Continuing to breathe very deeply. Recollect this feeling. Make it as vivid as you can. And continue to breathe very deeply. Check in with yourself. Where are you? Are you awake? Keeping your eyes closed with a very deep breath. Do not lose yourself into sleep. Say to yourself, I am awake, I am alert, I am active. I am in a deep state of yoga nidra. You are withdrawn into your mind, concentrating on the space in front of your closed eyes. You are concentrating on the space in front of your closed eyes, the space we call Chiddakasha. The Chiddakasha is the space, the transparent screen through which you can see infinite space, the space that extends as far as the eyes can see. Concentrate on this dark space in front of you. Become aware of any phenomena that manifests itself within that Chiddakasha. Whatever you see is the manifestation of your state of mind. Continue your awareness of this space, but do not believe what you see here. Remain detached here. Breathe and let it go. Continuing to breathe very deeply. Aware of the Chiddakasha, bringing your awareness to the dark space you see in front of your closed eyes. You continue to lie in Shavasana, breathing very deeply. Allow your mind to relieve itself from the Chiddakasha and come back into your physical body. Feel yourself lying along the floor, keeping your eyes closed, mind open, heart soft, breath deep. When you are ready, very gently begin to move your fingers and wiggle your toes and feel that life returning back into your body. How quickly the life leaves when we do not pay mind. How quickly everything leaves when we do not pay mind. Allow your head to turn to the left side, pressing the ear to the earth. And to the right side, pressing the ear to the earth. Inhaling both arms up overhead, interlacing the fingers together. And exhale, allowing both hands to come to one side of the body, stretching out the entire side. And preparing to do the same on the opposite side. On your next inhale, allowing your knees to come up into the chest, folding them in nice and tightly. If you'd like here, you can rock gently side to side, up and down. You can make small circles with the knees or larger circles with the knees. Whatever your body is calling for, just listen to your body and follow. On your next inhale, slowly bringing the knees and the legs down onto the right side. Take a moment here in the original yoga position. Take a moment to thank all of those who have helped you to become who you are today. Take a moment to thank and send your energy to all those who are suffering. Allow a smile to come across your face, releasing endorphins from the practice, keeping what you need for yourself to continue to be a beautiful spirit of kindred light. And when you are ready on your next inhale, in your own time, very gently and at your own pace, coming up into a comfortably seated position. Taking a moment to feel the effects of the practice on the body, as is traditional to close. Bring the hands together into the Anahata Chakra, thumbs together away from the fingers. Allow yourself to feel the rhythm of your heart, following the rhythm of your life, following the rhythm of the universe. And when you are ready, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Atma Namaste. Thank you all very much for coming. Thank you all very much for your patience with the technology. And thank you all very much for your happy healing thoughts for Yodi. As I said at the beginning, Yodi has surgery tomorrow. So if you all think of her tomorrow, I'd be ever so happy. She, of course, with the quarantine, I cannot be anywhere with her. And she doesn't like it. As you can see, she's not excited. Anyways, thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. I will see you again, 6 o'clock PST, hoping that there's no technological